Everybody loves to chill. Everybody loves to chill.
Lesson number 472. How to work the catwalk. My name is Jill Billingsley, and I'm going to be the one who leads you through the tips and tricks of working that runway. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is explain the posture for the runway. You want to make sure that you are not using your everyday posture. When you are on that runway, your shoulders are actually going to be shifted back, which actually makes you stand up straighter. Your hips are going to be tilted forward, which knocks you off balance now. And you're going to try your best to make sure that your weight is more so geared towards your toes as opposed to your heels. Because once you are kind of standing with a lean and all your weight's on your heels, you're more prone to have slip-ups on that runway. I'll show you a side view so you guys understand what I'm talking about. When I'm walking every day, this is kind of my stature. If I'm on the runway, shoulders are back, which puts my arms behind. Hips forward. Okay, every day, shoulders back, hips forward, and then straighten that up. This is going to be the posture you use while on the runway. And then now that you know the posture, you can put on a pair of heels, walk back and forth a bunch of times. When it feels comfortable, try to put on your worst pair of heels and work on that. If you can walk in your bad heels, you're going to be amazing when it comes to heels that you actually know and are comfortable in. Which leads us to the second thing. At the end of the runway, what do you do? For me, you can break it down into simple poses. There's 4 simple poses you can do that are head-on, and then you want to make sure your very last pose is something that's profiled, because that's going to make it easiest for you to walk back down that runway. 4 simple poses I can think right off the bat would be hand on hip and then strong hip. Pose number 1. You could do it to the opposite side. 2, both hands on hip. 3, no hands at all. 4. Now, if the designer requires 3 poses, I'm going to try to give a head-on frame to the photographers at the end of the runway. I'm going to give maybe a quarter turn, and then lastly, end on a profiled shot so I can exit off that runway. The few options you have to model at the side would be something just as simple as this. I would give more of my back if there's a really nice, interesting, low-cut shape towards the dress or fashion you're wearing. You can have the arm. If it's more dynamic in the front, you can put your arm towards the back. You can put your hand on your hip and just change which leg is bent. And that's about it for side shots. You don't really want to overthink it. You want it to kind of just feel natural. And the last advice I'm going to give you before showing you the actual walk is that when I take off back towards the end of that runway, I'm going to lead with the foot that's already closest towards the end. I lift it up just the slightest bit to add a little dramatic flair to my walk. I'm not really sure what other people do. The thing is to just have confidence, look like you know what you're doing. If you believe what you're doing, somebody else is bound to believe what you're doing. And try hard not to swing your arms dramatically. It's still something that I kind of do. And even while doing this video, I'll kind of walk you through what I don't like about my walk versus what I do like about my walk. And elsewise, please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and give me more ideas. Ciao!
Here's the first version of my walk, and probably the best version I've got. What I'm going to do at the very end is take a step backwards, and I'm going to work a quarter pose and a profile before stepping back to where I came from. I'm going to be using something like this if I was meant to pose really quickly at the end or just ran out of runway. In this second demo, I'm going to be doing 3 poses at the very end. When I do walk, I walk foot over foot, kind of. Here I'm going to step out to the right, very basic, hands down. Now to the left, one hand on my hip, and then profile again, before stepping out with the foot that is closest towards the end of that runway. In my third demo, probably the one I hate the most, my arms are swinging a little bit too much, especially my left there. And I'm going to be doing the 3 poses again to show you what feels natural to me, ending with the profile at this end. and stepping back to where I came from, and there you have it. I just included this one because I loved the light for the golden hour there, and hope to see you guys soon. Ciao! Also, if your design features pockets, try to work those in too. Be sure and subscribe!